calculate the sustainable harvest, and we keep going back and re-inventorying it and redoing the calculations so that the cut will always be sustainable. Basically, we should have the same cut, or in this case, it's gonna grow. The cut is gonna grow. I was a longtime forestry consultant, and in 1985 I had enough money to buy some forest land so I could have my own forest and manage it the way I wanted to. So I ended up buying 34 hectares here near Courtenay, and then I discovered that there were 98 hectares of isolated crown land adjoining it with no public road access. So I applied to the Forest Service for woodlot license and eventually got it in 1995. We put in the roads here and started harvesting in 1998. When this area was logged in the 1920s, it was a 250-year-old stand of mainly big Douglas fir and big western red cedar and some hemlock. Basically what happened is the fir came in after the wildfire here, then the cedar came in after the fir, and it's the same process. And if all we're doing is releasing the cedar a little bit sooner than it would be naturally and developing the same kind of stand, big fir and big cedar. So we take out the excess Douglas fir that would probably die, we take out the hemlock, which would die and is subject to severe wind throw here, and try to leave that same stand that was here 250 years ago. This tree, if this forest had been harvested when this stand was 45 years old, this tree wouldn't even have been merchantable probably. And if it was, it would have been a pulp log. Now it's a prime saw log, and hopefully we're going to get a prime pole out of it at some stage. And well, before I got the woodlot license, I did a detailed forest inventory of the whole woodlot, and at that time, merchantable timber, there was 39,000 cubic meters of merchantable timber on the whole area, even stands that weren't ready to harvest or anything.
Whole 240 acres?
That's right. And so I just recently redid the inventory this past March, and there's now 43,000 cubic meters of merchantable timber. And in the meantime, we've logged 14,000 cubic meters of merchantable timber. So something's working. Yeah, what we're doing is we're at a vantage point overlooking the woodlot license. The dark, tall trees, that's the woodlot license. The straight line behind me is the boundary of the woodlot. Beside it is industrial forestry. And where you see trees, that's where you see bigger trees, that's the woodlot. What you're seeing here is a long period of transition of Al Hopwood's thinking and approach to forestry. Yeah, no, I was, you know, I was the standard divisional silviculturalist. You know, you clear cut. I took over and we planted, and that was it. You did industrial forestry, and that was the way it was. And in a way, I was fortunate. I really enjoyed what I was doing. I loved it. I loved living in the logging camp I lived in, and you know, I really liked it, but circumstances changed things, and I ended up being able to see a whole bunch of stuff around the world, and got to do some things my way, and decided that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to do it differently. I wanted to do it the way I thought was best for the stand, and that's what I've been doing. My dream is to sell an individual tree rather than a truckload of trees as a commodity. And that's why I try to sell to people like Steve Roscoe at Woodland Flooring, because they're making something special out of the tree. It's not just a commodity, a chunk of lumber that's going to be sold for as a 2x4 or whatever. This is prime wood, and it should be made into prime products like they do at Woodland Flooring. And on top of that, you support a local family-run business.
Working locally is important, also from the the social and economic values we're gaining. Instead of that log being harvested and sent somewhere else to be processed, and it could go offshore, we're able to take that and capture that value back in here, and we can actually increase the value of capture from a log by 1,500%, making a second growth Douglas fir just like this from our local wood, and that's really, really important. Well, here at Woodland we do custom floors for people. We specialize in wide planks and long lengths, but sometimes the customer comes to us and wants a more traditional 3 1/4 inch wide floor. And this particular job, we have a 1x4 Douglas fir, second growth, that's been delivered to us from Hopwood, and we're going to be turning this into a 3 1/4 inch wide tongue and groove piece of actual wood flooring. And it's going to go through after the molder up to be sanded and then over to be coated, and it'll have a natural oil and wax finish put on it. And it's actually being delivered in Comox, so it's nice and close, within 5 minutes of our shop. So this is a Douglas fir order that we're working on. Wood coming out of Hopwoods Woodlot up in Forbidden Plateau. This is at the end of the process. It's all bundled up now. It's been molded, it's been defected, it's been end matched, it's been sanded, and now it's been coated with our hard wax oil finish. So you can see it there with the finish on it. And the wood finish shows a bit of the wood grain through, which is nice. It's not hiding it with a plastic top coat on it. The finish that we're using is made of oils and waxes. So it actually has carnauba wax, candelia wax, thistle oil, and sunflower oil in it. And the advantage of that is it's an organic wood finish. It's non-toxic, and it's renewable and refinishable quite easily. And that way, when we're using a coating, that's not hurting the environment to make, it's also not hurting our staff to work with, and it's not toxic to our customers to live on and to refresh. Well, I've been excited to come and see this, John.
Yeah, well,
especially how it works against the fireplace. Probably one of the favorite parts of my job is being able to go out at the end of a completion when they've all got all their furniture moved back in and walk in and see the finished product. Because last time I was there, I saw the house in its raw state or prior state. Usually it was either just on the old flooring or it's an empty house waiting for delivery or still sitting in frame stage. So to walk in there and see it when it's all done, when I know it was just a vision in the beginning, and see it all completed and see the customer smile on their face, it makes my day and makes my whole job, complete. It's kind of the icing on the cake.
My favorite color is this. So Steve was very good. We were out on his loading dock with the stain and cloth and turpentine, and going away like this, and no, that's not it, that's not it, that's it.
Yeah. Part of the floor is this main kind of teal color, and then part of the floor has got a certain amount of wash added to it. So it created some variation. Then we shuffled it into the floor. So we saw some, some more wood in some and more green in the others. Really, how's the floor looking? How's it holding up? Wonderful. Wonderful. So the floor's looking really good. Last time I was here, we talked about how to take care of some little nicks and scratches, and how to do that, and it looks like you've done a really good job keeping it looking good.
It's been down a year, Steve, and it's holding up well, and we get lots of nice compliments on it.
Yeah.
The natural fir is something I had always liked, and it was on my wish list to put it down on our floor when we came here. I found, after researching it, it would be affordable. I didn't think it would be in our budget originally. I thought it would be over the top, but I kept returning to Woodland. His prices were competitive, but his product was far superior to anything else that I had looked at. And when I found out it was cut locally here in the valley, I was quite smitten by that.
One of the really neat facts about your floor, Willie, is it came from right up there, Forbidden Plateau.
Yeah, I think it's beautiful that I'm looking up the hillside where the trees used to stand that have now made our beautiful bedroom floor, yeah.
Yeah, it ties it nice. You can't have a more local story than that, eh?
No.